Severe weather can strike anytime, anywhere, but there's a simple way to stay safe. Hey, Jim Cantore here. I stay safe in dangerous weather by planning ahead. You can stay safe too with a few easy steps. Build an inexpensive kit with supplies for your family's needs. Write down important information like phone numbers and medications. Always talk with your family and remember any pets in your planning. Be ready, be safe. Start your plan today at ready.gov/plan.
STEM is precise, no margin for error.
Dare to forget that. Dare to have fun with it. Get weird with it. Dare to send those old STEM theories flying past the neighbor's house into outer space. Dare to program something internet-breaking, record-breaking. Dare to blow their minds. Dare to learn the difference between sedimentary and metamorphic rock. Go find those rocks. Dare to keep daring. Dare to STEM. Check out She Can STEM to get started.
Yell a little time. There must have been a ton of them yesterday. I saw cars everywhere in Prague.
I think there's more scheduled. It's like a really
It really is.
Ready, Jeff? 6 o'clock. At 6 p.m., we will begin the June 6th school board meeting of Independent School District 882. Stand for the allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag. An approval of the agenda.
so moved. Second.
Motion made by Melissa, seconded by Jennifer. All those in favor of the approved agenda signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion passes 5-0. Clay, can we note that Kathy's not here also? I don't believe we had any citizens' comments, so we'll move on to fiscal stability. Everybody was sent the consent agenda previously with the approval of the minutes, personnel matters. This is an action item.
So moved. Second.
Motion to approve the consent agenda made by Melissa and approved by Jennifer. All those in favor of approving the consent agenda signify by aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion passes 5-0. Next, we have innovation leadership, and we have our last student representatives report and a little celebration for you. So the show's all yours, ladies.
Oh, okay. I guess Natalie and I just want to thank you for the wonderful year. I'm sure both of us can say that we'll remember this opportunity for always. And it was fun getting to speak and present our opinions to all of you.
Yeah, we just want to thank you for such a great opportunity. We've learned so much, and I think we're both going to carry out what we learned here into college and past college. So thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you for the wonderful school year.
So you have to stay up there here. So we would like to just pause here and as a school board and superintendent, be able to recognize you and what we saw this school year. And I'll just start off by saying professionalism that you brought to every meeting, the clear communication that you delivered, the well-rounded speeches that you gave every time to encompass the whole student body was something that I'll always remember. The kind of the diverse approach that you took to, having be able to represent all those voices. And I tell you, we're going to miss the two of you very, very much. What you've done for our high school is to really bring us together, unify us with your passion, whether it be at school board meetings, whether it be during curriculum meetings, whether it be on the court, the field, whether it be in academia, or just being with your peer groups. You have truly unified our school district and brought us to a place that the next generation is going to have role models to follow. And that's what the word legacy means, is that you leave something better, and you two are leaving us in really good hands. And so I just want to thank you from my lens and my position, and then obviously your fan favorites here. So we'll open it up here to the school board as well.
I look at you both as role models of your grade and leaders, so just thank you for taking that on.
It was a commitment for you guys to come here, and I appreciate that and your dedication to truly representing your class, which is huge. And you're serving not only your class, but also the school district. And those skills that you set forth just coming here consistently and representing the student body will serve you in the future. So thank you, and I look forward to seeing great things from you too.
Thank you. We do really appreciate hearing what's going on in the schools from the student perspective. Especially for me, I don't have any kids at the high school, so I don't otherwise know what's going on there. So I really do appreciate you being here. So.
I echo their same comments. The best part about when you come, it's not always just like, sometimes we get pretty reading everything that goes on. You bring comments of feelings and stuff like that that we need to hear too. It's not just this happened at this date and that was it. I love that you brought a lot of information about Interact that a lot of people don't even know about. That was a big thing that stood out quite a bit to me. And all around, everything that you brought was really exciting for us to hear. Many times afterwards, we were talking to each other and we go, I didn't even know that yet. We're not there. So what you bring is very valuable. I hope you know how much it was for us.
You're awesome. So you guys did awesome. It'd be great if, I know your lives will be busy moving forward, but if you have an opportunity maybe to reach out to the next representatives and just kind of share some things you did and the things you thought that went well, and kind of help them, maybe mentor them a little bit. It's not, don't need to spend a lot of time, but that would be awesome if you could.
Sure.
Help them.
I'm
So-
sure you'll have nothing to do next year.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, we really appreciate it.
And if you ever just want to come back and hang out at school board meeting,
And we do have, well, first off, I'd like to, if we could, big round of applause. And we just have some gift cards and cards here too.
Thank you so much. You didn't have to. Oh, okay.
You too, and
Thank
if I
you.
can get a picture.
just 2 more cards from.
Oh, shoot.
And then,
One in the money.
we would like everybody to go get a cupcake now. It's like who doesn't like frosting, right? So we have cupcakes here and water. So anybody who would like a treat, we'll take a little pause here, and you can get that. I want a picture with you too.
Oh, sure.
Yeah. Hegle, did you wear appropriate clothing for your picture
You
today?
look great today.
Thank you. Yeah.
Chance to get cupcakes. Hey, we have a couple more celebrations. We're going to celebrate Linda Borgany with her retirement, and we actually have previous superintendent, Mr. Johnson, who would like to say a few words first. So welcome back. It's good to see you.
First time I've been for a board meeting. About 5 years.
You've missed it.
I've missed it. I figured I haven't sat out there for a board meeting. It's 17 years, so yeah, it's been a while. So, so those of you who don't know, I served as superintendent for over 12 years, assistant superintendent for 2, and I was middle school principal for 4. And so a lot of years being blessed to serve this district. And now what I do is I teach the next generation of principals, superintendents, special ed directors, and community ed directors. in one of the largest programs in the state of Minnesota. And when I teach my classes, one of the things that I talk about is if you want to be a successful leader. And when I look back, not everyone would agree, but I look back on my time, I think we were pretty successful in things that we did. And what I tell them is you have to have quality people around them. And I had a quality team. Nobody ever does anything alone. My right-hand person, for the vast majority of the years that I sat in the superintendent's office, was this woman right here. And when I talk about my right hand, and when you talk about quality leaders and what helps someone be successful, you need to have people around you and beside you who are going to be honest with you, who are not always just going to be your cheerleader. They're the people that you can throw ideas by, who will be critical of those ideas, who will help you see the landmines that you can't see. But when a decision is made to go forward, they're right there beside you through the good and the bad. And when I think back on my years sitting in that office and doing that job, this woman right here was truly my right hand. She helped bring about so much success of the things that we did. And she was that person who would ask the hard question. And she was the person who always helped all of us stay focused on kids, regardless of the things that we were going through. And so, Linda, I just want to congratulate you and wish you well, and thank you for the service to this district, because the kids and the families and the staff have no idea how lucky they are to have had you as part of the leadership of what we do here. Congratulations.
I'll jump up, and I just want to echo and make sure that I also spend a little time celebrating Linda. When I think of Linda, 3 letters come to mind, like A, B, and C, right? The first letters of the alphabet. And A, Linda taught me always to be prepared. She was always prepared for everything. Professionalism absolutely through the roof. And I probably needed a lot of work on that over my years from when I started until obviously I still strive for learning and growth in that area, but she always taught me that. And then B, be there. Linda was there for her teachers. She was there for people. She was there to do the tough things. And she was actually also probably be at work probably too much because she just always made sure that she got everything done and kept our district moving forward. And so that's what, when I think of Linda's teachings to me, be there. She was there for people, and she was also there a lot to keep things moving forward. And then C, one of the things that I learned about Linda over the years, and one of the things that she taught me that I still try to hold true, is that she's able to complete big tasks, she's able to complete little tasks, but whatever it is, she does it with passion, and she does it to serve the greater good, serve students first. And so the C is that she always completes what she sets out to do. She does it for the greater good. And so I couldn't be more proud to learn those things, to work alongside her. We had many different roles that we played together over the years. And I know as our relationship grew over the years, I just know that we became closer and closer and closer every year. And I'm so proud to work alongside you and call you a colleague. And now I'll always be so proud to call you a friend. So thank you very much. Congratulations.
I'd just like to say thank you for this last 32, 33, can never quite remember how many years I've been here. It's just amazing what I've been able to learn when I think back, just starting back with principals when I first started here and teachers, but it also goes to school board, it goes to paras, it goes to our cooks, it goes to our custodians. Everybody's taught me something different that's made me a better person. And I really want to thank Jim and the school board for letting me go back to Pinewood. The last 5.5 years, it's been a wonderful way to end my career. And I think I'm ending on a good foot, so thank you very much for that. Thank you.
I just want to quick say, Linda, I'll never forget, we moved here into town, and my daughter came in first grade, and who was doing our tour and to walk me around the school was Linda. And it just showed me that the school was under great leadership, that you were leading from the front, that you were taking care of every kid no matter what and their families. And it gave me such a sense of peace to know that I was bringing her to this new school. And Linda was always there, out front, helping people out of their cars, the kids out of their cars in the morning. She was always front and center. And so I appreciate your leadership and thank you for your service.
Thank you, Linda. It's been great working with you both on the board level and over at Pinewood as a parent in the PTO there. And we're going to miss you next year. You have to go to somebody else.
As a Pinewood parent, I appreciate you so much. You were always so calm, and I just love it. Thank you.
I appreciate you because you did all those years of assessment and all that stuff. And every time you would do your very best to make it interesting for me. You did a really good job, though, of all the thousands of pages of assessment and all that stuff that you did. And I mean, I don't think anybody would, say that that's probably their favorite thing to do, but you did it, and you did it well. And that was important when we were trying to make goals for our district and move forward in the right direction. And everything else you've contributed to this district has been amazing, so thank you.
Okay, I'm going to buck up.
Come on, Candace.
Yep, I can do this. When we moved here, as you know, obviously, with our son with special needs. And one of the first people that we visited with were you and Eric at the same time, kind of going through some of the things that we had to do. And it was a very hard transition, but you kept, some of the meetings you came to, and I distinctly remember you saying, it's going to be okay. You just have to get through this. It's going to be okay. You've been down this road. And I had a trust for you. I don't know why, because I didn't even know you. But I had a trust, and I did. Everything has turned out fine. There were many bumps, but Linda, I don't know what we would have done without you. So I appreciate you greatly. You have no idea. Thank you.
Well,
Awesome.
yeah.
One more.
Yeah. I'm going to. Yeah, it's not
There's Sue. Come on
too
up, Sue.
often- It's not too often in the history of any organization do you lose two incredible leaders to retirement in such a short amount of time. And that's what we have right now. And we have two big sets of shoes to fill. And so I'm going to kick off Sue and then turn it over to Mike from her team and Sue from the curriculum side. But Sue Height, if you want to go into the trenches to accomplish something hard, you need Sue Height there because she can, whether it's solving problems for a pandemic, whether it's rolling out one-to-one devices, whether it's taking care of the whole district's technology needs on not a lot of help back in the day, and be able to do some of these amazing, huge, big tasks in our district, which a lot of people just have come to expect. But it doesn't happen without amazing preparation and planning behind the scenes. I love sitting with Sue, and she doesn't come to a meeting and brainstorm. She comes to a meeting with solutions, and she'll open up the folder. She'll have the plan, how they're going to get there, and she's already met with the team, and you're just like, yes, because that's what I need help with, is coming up with that wonderful plan that I've so often seen from you. So if you want to be in the trenches in life with somebody that can problem solve and do hard things, I would want to be in the trenches with you. You can do those amazing things. So we're going to have Mike come up next, and you have to stand up here while we just give you praise.
Thank you. Thank you, Eric.
This is hard.
This is one of my right hands here.
Yeah. I started in 1999. The high school had just been open for about 3 months. It was a very different world technology-wise. We had just a few hundred computers in the district, not that many phones, and through the years, it's changed dramatically. Sue has given us great leadership, always pushed us to be better, always encouraged us to come up with great ideas and just contribute. And in fact, in 2012, that was recognized by TIES, one of the state organizations. They awarded her Technology Director of the Year. So we were really proud of her for that. As far as she always had great vision looking forward. Every summer, we were always looking at our 5-year plan. What do we need to adjust? What are we doing next year? What are we doing the year after? She always was pushing us to make sure we were staying up to date, looking forward. And she also allowed, most specifically me, managing the infrastructure, allowed us to build a top-notch infrastructure and continuously improve it so we could support classroom technology. We could always say yes. We didn't have to say no, we can't do this, we don't have the ability to support it. We were always able to say yes. We went through many migrations. We put fiber in. We've changed student information systems a couple times, which is a very big undertaking. And it's just, we've had an explosion of technology in the classrooms. I mean, when we went from just a few hundred to every person in the district has a device. So for that, we thank you.
Thank
you.
First. So when I was thinking about, I have a cold, so that's what this is. When I was thinking about what I'd want to say about Sue, lots of phrases came to mind. So I'm just going to read a few phrases that made me think about you, Sue. Humble leader, patient teacher and trainer, collaborative partner, problem solver, leads by example, personal attention all the time, passionate educator, role model to others, intelligent woman, tireless worker bee, loyal and sincere, multi-talented, but most importantly, compassionate friend. So thank you for mentoring me over the past several years. Your guidance has been invaluable to me in my journey. We will miss you, Sue. Hard to replace, but best wishes.
Yeah, thank you very much.
We'll get some pictures of both of you two right now.
Thank you.
But I'll let the school board, if you want to say.
So you are a miracle worker. Don't even know what to tell you. How many times have I called you on the phone or walked into your office and said, this is doing something it shouldn't be doing. What do I do? Thank you so much for everything you've done.
Often, being behind the scenes, doing the work that you do is not always recognized. You had some of the most difficult tasks in the world to complete in the last couple of years, and I know even to our family it was seamless, and I know to you it probably wasn't at all, or your team, it was very difficult. And I just want you to know how much our families during a difficult time like that appreciated your hard work and your time. I mean, the hours and hours that you put into it really helped the rest of us families get through a tough time with that e-learning. And I just want you to know you're appreciated. We appreciate all the hard work you gave to this district and your service to us, and you will be very missed.
Thank you. It's been great working with you. It's been very clear that you have so much knowledge and you do a great job of explaining everything to the school board and just finding those solutions when problems and issue.
I remember when we had a meeting, I don't know what it was, but you had talked about bringing devices to every kid in the district. I thought you were crazy.
Yeah, I remember.
And I looked at you and I thought, oh my gosh, you know, right now we have these labs we're pushing around on carts and we're trying to make that work, and all of a sudden we're going to jump to this, but you did it and it was amazing, and you had your staff do it, and I can't even imagine what the last 2 years have been for you guys and how great you've been with all this, and we just kept asking more of you for like technology wise, and you kept finding a way to do it, and so technology wise we would not be in the spot where we are in our district right now if you hadn't been here. So,
You have been so patient with all of our endless questions, and you will definitely be missed, so thank you.
I'd like to say a couple words for you, Sue, over here. Yes. Video guy is speaking now. I just want to say thank you for being an amazing mentor the last 3 years. I know I would not be where I'm at today without your leadership. I'm getting to go through the IT internship my senior year and working with the entire crew. I could just not be more thankful for your patience, as you know, a very common word that you've heard tonight about you, for your patience, your just straight leadership and compassion towards others. Thank you, Sue.
Can I say one thing?
yes.
I wanted to say a few words. I really wanted to thank our board and our administrators for the trust that you put in me. Technology is a very big ticket item. And many times I would come to you with a proposal and you would take the time to ask more questions and learn more. And it took a lot of courage when we had a shrinking budgets many, many times. Jim will remember those many, many years, and we still are working through them, many years of shrinking budgets. It took a lot of courage to put forth dollars to a infrastructure, a networking utility that many times you can't even see, and you don't know where it is or put your arms around it. So I'm very appreciative for your courage. And to my team, I love these guys. Mike Danielson, Barb Schreifels, Steve Wilson, Zach Shopacom, Tony Reber is not here, and Sherry Yee is not here. But there's my right hand, many hands, and nothing and everything you've said to me tonight could not have been ever accomplished without this team here. They're just amazingly smart people who know how to get it done. And they take on every challenge and make work very fun. And just, they're great problem solvers. And Zach was one of our interns. Gavin was one of our interns. We had other interns. I really believe in the internship, taking on our seniors. I'm very proud to say that many of those interns have been our very own Monticello grads. We had a Rogers grad in the group. They have contributed their talents and their abilities in ways that have impacted our district for many years to come. Alicia Stouffer Coet was one of our very first interns, and she designed the templates back when it was coding. She designed templates for our district that we still use to communicate to our families. Eric on the templates in School Messenger, she designed those. And we had Connor Reitmeyer, who is a computer engineer. He added a lot of efficiencies. Kayla Jordan, was our logistical expert in the one-to-one program. Tanner Zawicki, he did a lot of repairs that when the pandemic hit, had we not had so many of those first generation Chromebooks, we wouldn't have been able to deliver so many Chromebooks out to families. And our very own Gavin Nelson. And need we say more, look what he's accomplished here for our district. So I'm very, very proud of that. And my fellow administrators and colleagues, I am so proud to work with all of you. And if I can borrow something from what Eric says often, I would never want to go through a pandemic or be with any other administrators besides you, because you really have a passion for our brand and our mission. And you do what it takes to get the job done. And that's just something very, I think, noble. And again, to the entire, I'm going to miss all of you very much. And to the entire school community and to Monticello, I thank you from the bottom of my heart. because you have allowed me to live my passion and do things beyond what I could have ever dreamed about and work with people that I truly, truly admire. So thank you very much.
If we could get the school board up. And then we have some gift bags, and then we have a basket in the fridge. We have some different places, so, if we could get your picture, people.
And then when you guys leave tonight, you have to speak with Barb about getting your names on the sub list.
Oh. Okay.
These are charcuterie boards.
I
and we have
subbed
some
enough this
charcuterie,
year for the rest of my life.
We'll put you guys right in the middle. Do you wanna-
Have you seen these? I got to see them when I handed it out to some staff members. The high school made these?
Yeah, so our industrial tech. We'll kind of get on half and half. Don't forget some of the big
Yeah, we're gonna have like so many teams. They had like 3 extra teams, so it's.
Thank you.
So we will move on to teaching and learning, and we'll have a MHS Career Fair recap from Ann Ronk.
Before Ann starts, I just want to say a few things about Ann. Oh my gosh, she's like, what? Over 2 years ago, we applied for the youth internship grant through the Department of Labor and Industry, and we were granted that. And so we were able to hire a fantastic youth internship coordinator named Ann Runk, and she's been with us for the past 2 years and now is happily retiring to travel and spend time with her friends and family. The grant has come to an end, but thanks to Ann's help with multiple other grants that now we have brought into the district, we'll be able to carry all the good work that Ann has done through those grants. And people in those new positions will pick up right where Ann left off, and she's going to be mentoring them. So I do appreciate that. I'm just going to run through just a few things that Ann does. It's really honestly like 10 times more than what I'm even going to say. But Ann has been responsible for the marketing and recruitment for all of the program. She's established countless internships, including summer internships for our students. She has developed relationships with our business partners in the community, along with community resources. She has worked with the Department of Labor and Industry to bring our students into these businesses, get them approved for safety requirements for our students, has done all kinds of legwork with DLI. She's delivered coursework for our students in the youth internship program along with our OGT classrooms. She's been instrumental in the career wheel and developing career pathways at our high school. She has overseen our career and tech ed department, encouraging them to go on and get more licensure, encouraging more new coursework. She's given classroom presentations to almost all the grades on careers. She was a key player in the Grow Your Own and expansion of rigorous course grants. Her and I got to partner on that. And the last thing that I'm going to say is she organized the fantastic career fair that I heard about this year. I didn't get up there, but Ann is going to go through that with you right now and kind of show off a little bit about what the high school did. So I'd like to thank her and Lori and Matt for doing that.
Cindy. We had a fun career fair on May 19th, and I'm just going to share some pictures and some little information about the career fair. We had 1,326 students who attended the career fair in grades 9 through 12. Students attended during their social studies classes. So for 20 minutes of their class, they went either inside or outside, and then after 20 minutes, they flipped. So they got to see different career opportunities that were outside and were hosted outside and then also inside. It was an all-day event. Business and organization, we had 43 businesses and community organizations, 90 representatives. that attended. We had the inside and outside, and they all, or most of them, brought some hands-on activities. It was one of the requests I had. So students who are going through the career fair could do some hands-on exploration. What I want to mention, because sometimes people, when they hear career fairs or careers and conversations, is they think that it's just, or want these students to know what they want to do before right away, and why they're a senior and have it all planned out. And I just want to make sure that you know there's a lot of things we do in the elementary, middle, and high school, and it is just about exploring career options for students. It's not about having them pinpoint exactly what they want to do on their day of graduation. It really is to explore careers. So if we look at the high school, we talk about exploration and what are some activities that they do in the high school through exploration. Career coursework, all of our juniors take a careers class where they get to explore different career opportunities, get to hear from speakers. Field experiences through OJT, through youth internships, through other career technical education courses, college courses, certifications, and then just kind of going on to their post-secondary. And this is the career wheel, and we looked at about 6 different pathways. So when we talk about careers to students, we really talk about pathways. So we aren't saying, oh, do you want to be a nurse? We talk about the health areas, health science technology. We talk about the engineering technology, so students get to explore a wide range of areas. So I just want to make sure parents and the community know that we really is about exploring and having students find out things that they like to do, maybe don't like to do, and maybe you want to pursue. So what I did is I listed a few of the careers that were represented at the career fair. They're also located in their pathway. So if we look at human services, we had Wright County probation and human services, a police officer. We have a Monticello grad who was sitting at the table for St. Cloud State University on education, Central Minnesota mental health. As we look at the health science technology, we have Centricare, Alina Health, Minnesota Oral Health Coalition, so dental care, also Walgreens for pharmacy. If we look at the agriculture area, we have Minnesota Native Landscape, which is right down the road, Centrasota, Southern Agriculture Center of Alliance, and then also in the engineering and manufacturing, we have Aeroplex who participated, the Minnesota State Transportation. They had a huge trailer where students got to go through and do some hands-on activities to find out if aviation is something that interests them, if it's auto body or other areas. Jaybird out of St. Cloud, Liberty Paper, and aviation. And some of the other employers were Central Minnesota Jobs and Training. We also had the Armed Services represented and several colleges that were also there. And then also in the arts, Monty Arts, and then Washburn, and then Model College of Hair Design, and the photographer. So there's just some of the areas we had more businesses, and I'm just going to share a few pictures with you. Some of the outside activities, so you can see the students getting to do some hands-on activities through the trailer or through Jaybird with their sprinkler systems and the ambulance. Outside activities continuing, we had the armed services, we had a truck simulator, so a student could go in the truck and it would simulate like driving like on icy roads and things like that, and a variety of other areas. Inside activities. So if you can see some of the pictures, the Model College of Hair Design, we had Aeroplex that brought in a simulator for robotics. We had another like welding simulator, and then through Centricare, Health Wheel, so they could spin the wheel and get prizes and find out more things about the career area. And here's some just additional pictures with Centrasota, and then also Alina Healthcare, and again the welding and Monty Arts. And so I sent a survey to the businesses that attended because I think data is important, and if we're going to improve, we look at what we did well, what we want to change for next year or the following year. So some of the questions I asked, was the career fair Google registration form easy for them to complete? Most businesses could easily complete the form. A few had trouble, their system would not allow it, so they just sent the information to me individually. What time of year works best for the business? We wanted to find out. We did it in the spring. You know, what works best for the businesses? A lot of them did say spring was one, about half of them said spring was the best time. What time frame would you prefer for a career fair, morning, afternoon, or all day? We worked them very, very hard. I made 85 sandwiches for them, and they had about a 23-minute lunch break. And then they were back out there again. So I think all day was kind of a long day, so I think looking in the future, maybe it'd be something more of a morning or afternoon. Did you have any concerns with parking? I was very worried about parking. I didn't think I slept all night long because I was so worried about not having enough parking, and I was telling them to park in the nearby schools and where they should park, but it ended up working out literally perfectly. A few of them did park over at the elementary school and walk over, but it did work out perfect, so that was nice to know. And then I just asked some comments. What did they like? What did they feel went well? It talked about being well organized and well attended by students. They did like that there was a small group coming through, maybe 80 students every 20 minutes. So it was spread out, so they had the time to really talk to the students. One of the things I kept seeing over and over again, these are just some of the comments, I didn't throw all the comments in there, was the students were very, very, very engaged. They were so impressed with the Monticello High School students. And I want to thank the social studies teachers because I sent them kind of a slide presentation about behavior and what the students should be looking for and what's the purpose of a career fair, and they did a great job of doing that. Students, I had 4 student helpers, which I'll show you in a few minutes. We just worked them so hard. They went around and they asked the businesses if they want coffee and if they needed anything, and comments where they felt they were really well taken care of. Communication was good by staff, and then there's always room for improvement. Comments, it was a long day for many to participate. One example of format that's easier is industry with the students for approximately 10 to 2 with a couple hours. This was my first outdoor job fair, and it was the best. It was by far the best job fair I've ever attended. We had a table inside, too. So just some other comments that I know that most of you have access to. And as everybody has talked about, it's a team of people. It was Steve Moser, school counselor at Monticello High School, Jen Fox, who's a work coordinator, and myself. And then we had 4 students that I work closely with. 2 of them were OJT students in my classroom. One was a youth intern, and one other one was another student that really helped out. Any questions?
I have a 9th grade daughter who attended. She's kind of a floater in life, just whatever. And she was very excited when she came home. Like, she saw lots of things that really interested her. And she it was neat to see an excitement from a 9th grader come home after school after some of the things some of the people she talked to, some of the things she saw. So it was, from her words, it was very awesome.
Good, good.
So
Thank you for sharing that. Thank you.
I'll just close by just saying, I know I've got to work with Ms. Hanson, at least both years as one of the principals with you, and how many times have I heard you say, Ann Runk, I wish we had one more Ann Runk, or Ann Runk, I wish she could stay for another 5 years. I wish we would have gotten her, 5 years prior. Just so many times your name comes up in these innovative things to bring us closer to bringing an idea to kids about what their pathways could be. An excellent job of that. I think we do in education sometimes too good of a job of just showing the educational college of maybe 4-year degree pathway, and we're really working on all the other pathways. So you've brought that to light for us.
Well, Monticello has been wonderful. It's hard for me to leave, as Ms. Hanson knows. When we had our last conversation, it's a great school district to work. I wish I would have been here 5 years ago. I think that I could have achieved so much more, and I think the students have been wonderful, respectful, and I think it's the most open I've ever been in a school where I think students are really open to looking at a wide range of careers. You have some of your top students looking at career areas in construction and construction technology or automotive technology, some of your best and your brightest. And I think it's neat that this district, the students are very open to a wide range of careers. They also know what kind of money they're going to make in some of those areas. So thank you.
Thank you.
Tina, you always seem to follow at the appropriate times, don't you?
Mm-hmm. What do we got, 20, 30 minutes?
Nope. And
those celebrations should be at the end. of the meeting, not before. People have to present. Bear with me, this is my first try. It worked before. Maybe it's just thinking.
Well, we have lots of technology help here.
Okay. All right. All right, so tonight we have the rest of our budget adoption to present. Nope, it's not the right one. There we go. All right. So state statutes, we have to approve our budget by July 1st. So we are a little different from cities and counties where we are not January to December. We are July through June. So this budget helps us guide how we want to spend our money, what resources we will use them to, what's our objectives. And these are just a list of the funds that we have to manage and keep track of. The budget is our best guess every year. You know, it's every other year it's hard with contracts and legislation. So going into next year, it's a little easier because we kind of knew what our money was going to be from the state, hoping for a little more. We knew what our teacher contract was, and that's a big cost to our budget. But every September, we don't know how many students are going to come through those doors. We use our best guess and plan for a budget moving forward. So the budget process is a long process, and we divide it out into sections. We start in the fall with the levy, enrollment projections, and then take a look at capital and supply budgets with our buildings, and then staffing with the superintendent and director of human resources. In February, you approved budget assumptions in developing this budget. So on the revenue side, we have an enrollment projection of 4,107 students, and that's what we get money for. That's not who's in our building. Our building also includes special ed cooperative students as well. It includes a 2% increase already approved last year on our general education aid, and no additional aid was increased this last legislative session. Our state special ed revenue formula is the same under the newer laws that were probably 7 years ago now, and with our current cooperative structure, so no school is leaving or coming. It's kind of our three schools moving forward. We have reduced federal funds and under compensatory with fewer families qualifying for the free and reduced meal benefits. And then we have some more CARES or federal funds under ESSER 2 and Round 3 and the summer programming that are in this budget. Also on the revenue side, we have some grants that we have for 2 years or more. Like I said earlier, we have the ESSER Round 3, 5% money for next year. It's over $500,000, $531,000. We have our Minnesota MTSS grant over 2 years. That was over $472,000. Our expansion of rigorous coursework over 2 years, $466,000. And then Grow Your Own Pathway over 5 years, $568,000. On the expense side, our staffing assumptions were based on a budget and alignment plan over 2 years. Our contracts based on settlements and then budget parameters for those that we didn't have settlements for. And then having 3 retirements where we hopefully see some nice savings on, but every year it gets harder and harder to guess who we're going to hire and where they're going to be placed because people are getting really savvy at negotiating. So try to do what we can to save on the new hires. Other expense assumptions, increases anywhere from 0 to 8% under supplies, utilities, or transportation. We will not borrow short term. We're flush with cash throughout the year, so we don't have to borrow debt short term to meet any needs, and that our total expenses will end up 0.5% under budget. Our fund balance policy is designated where we try to hit between 8 to 16%, 1 to 2 months of expenditures. If we're below 8, we have to freeze expenses, or we can't add unless new money's coming in. And if we're below 6%, we either have to reduce or increase revenues. Oops, I missed a couple. We have a committed severance fund balance for the retirement, so slowly that's dwindling down, and that our carryover will be on hold and evaluated each year based on what the buildings are spending. Other assumptions, we utilize our trust for the non-certified retirements, retiree insurance costs, and like I mentioned earlier, we have a 2-year budget alignment plan going into next year and the year after that. So tonight, I just want to dive in more into our general fund, which is our main operating fund. It includes our capital budget. It includes our special ed cooperative budget, but I'm going to report on them separately in this presentation. So with our general fund revenues, the majority of our revenue coming in is with state aid at 75%. The next largest source is property tax revenue at 17%, and then we have federal revenue and other revenue coming in to round it out. With our revenue budget, property tax revenue and enrollment increased with that 2% coming in and a little slightly higher enrollment projected for next year. On the federal aid side, we did see a decrease from this year of 1.8 million, so a lot of that one-time pandemic federal relief money is rolling off. So this is still has some federal funds in there with the grants that I mentioned, but still larger than what we normally see. On the expense side, salaries and benefits is our largest cost. So we do have increases coming in with the contract settlements and benefits, but at the same time, we had a $2 million reduction target to hit, so that's in there as well, and some other one-time money that's going away. One example of this is our emergency connectivity fund grant that Awesome Sue was able to get for us, over $450,000 that we could use to get more devices to continue that initiative. And another big way that Sue helped that I wanted to mention with our gear money that we got last year and this year, with her conspiracy thinking, I think we got the most gear technology money than our neighbors because we answered our technology survey well during the time of the pandemic and really helped us get those funds. So overall, we're starting the year about 6.5 million in our fund balance is my projection. We have 51 million revenue coming in and then 50.5 million going out, adding about 500,000 to our fund balance to get about 7 million. And about 8% of that is projected to be unreserved or unassigned. So we're just at that lower target for our fund balance policy, but kind of where I thought we would be with our financial forecast in January. So the different categories of fund balance, we have the restricted fund balance that has strings attached from the state. So going into next year, our restricted fund balances as a whole will be about 2.3 million, almost 2.4 million. And then we have the assigned or committed fund balance that are designated by the board, and it includes our severance commitment. So that's dwindling down. You can see over those 4 years how it's dwindling down to 676,000 at the end of next year. And then our unassigned non-spendable fund balance to be about 4 million to get to that 7 million total. And then, as you can see, 4 million of that 50.5 million is our 8% fund balance calculation. Any questions on the general fund? All right, the next I want to touch on our special ed cooperative fund. So this is a separate fund, but it closes to our general fund. So when the state looks at our finances, it looks at our general fund and our special ed cooperative together when it looks at the totals. The special ed cooperative, they purchase staff from us. So a lot of that money coming in is money from the co-op and some federal flow-through dollars that pays for their purchased staff. So on the expense side, it's mainly salaries and benefits, just a little bit under supplies because they're on our purchasing card system. So that funnels through us. So all that 10.9 million, I think, gets reimbursed back to Monticello. The co-op did have an increase this year, going into next year, as they increase some staffing. They have a half grant writer, a half online homebound teacher, 1 nurse, a half early childhood special ed evaluator, a half speech clinician, and a 1.0 assistive technology coordinator, and 5 additional paras due to students moving into the district and the needs that are being asked upon. So the special ed cooperative is a breakthrough or break-even fund. Money coming in and coming out just balances each other out of 10.9 million, almost 11 million coming in and coming out. So there really is no fund balance at the start or the end of the school year. All the other funds we talked about in May, but I still had them listed in the PowerPoint if you had any questions from the first meeting. Happy to take any questions, but I am asking for a board approval of the budget for 23-24 school year. No, 22-23 school year. I'm a year ahead of myself.
I have one question. Let me see, I lost the slide. So when we're looking at the general fund, at the 7099126 fund balance, is that pre $2 million in cuts, or is that?
No, that's with the cuts.
Their cuts right now. Okay. So projecting, this is obviously not easy to do, but moving into 23-24 with the cuts here, and then obviously you did a good job because you finished ahead of where we needed to be. What is?
I think it's still the same of another target of 1 million, but there's still hope that the legislative leaders were gathering last week, so hopefully they can come back for a special session to give us a little more of that surplus that they're sitting on. But I think, like I mentioned earlier, the forecast I had us projected with going over a 2-year plan to ending the year about 8%. So that's kind of, you put all the budget together and put actual people and salaries in, that's where we landed. So I'm guessing another million is needed for the 23-24 school year.
We filled all of our open positions right now in the district?
I don't think so.
That's obviously something you budget for.
Yeah. Yep, we make our best guess on where we think people will be hired, but you win some, you lose some.
That's all I have. Anybody else have questions?
I would just say to what Tina just said is that the market is very competitive, so the people who are moving times are people who have credits and more lanes, and they're looking to move for reasons that, that are more personal, to be closer to home, to come to our school district, things like that. So it's, I remember times when I first started in the district where we'd get 2 Xerox boxes full of applicants, and you'd have hundreds of, between 100 and 200 applicants, and we just don't have that right now. It's very competitive. People, that are moving are, and so it's hard to forecast some of these new positions because they're coming at a little higher price. We're trying hard. Like Tina said, sometimes we lose, or sometimes we lose. We get some of the profession staff.
Further questions? This is an action item.
I move to approve the budget as presented.
Second.
Jennifer makes a motion to approve the budget as presented by Tina, seconded by Candace. All those in favor of approving the budget proposal by Tina signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion passes 5-0.
Thank you.
Tina.
Thanks, Tina.
And Superintendent Olson with 2 policies.
This is the second reading, so these policies have had an opportunity to go through the policy committee, and they've already come to the school board one time. And the 2 policies that we're talking about are policy 422 and policy 523. These are both policies that came to us from MSBA, and they're really policies that coming forward to provide clarification around existing policies. These policies outline what policies apply to both students and to staff. So since this is our second opportunity to be here, and I haven't had any questions since then, we bring these forward for
I move that we approve policy 422 and policy 523 as presented.
Second.
Jennifer makes a motion to approve policy 422 and policy 523, seconded by Candace. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion passes 5-0. Our meeting on June 6th. We do need a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made by Jennifer, second by Candace to adjourn. All those in favor of adjourning signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion passes 5-0. Meeting is adjourned, 6:58 PM.
Hey Bobo, do trees tell each other stories?
I'm sorry. I'm afraid I don't know that.
Hey, why don't we go find out? Listen.
Do clouds take naps?
I couldn't tell you.
Dad, do stars visit their friends?
Look!